Welcome back into Market Day Report. I'm Scott Shelley, otherwise known as the Cow Guy. Thank you very much for tuning us in today, right? Let's take a look and see what these markets have got in store for us. Let's start with corn, and we'll bring that up. It was a couple cents lower, about 1 3/4 to 2 cents lower last time we were there. It's ticked off another couple of pennies, or not a pennies, couple of ticks. SEP's down 2.5 cents, down to 4.81 3/4. We're going to call that about, 6 cents off the lows, right? But we're close to the, we're in the middle of the day's range. About 7 cents from the highs, 6 from the lows. We'll call that right in the middle. Diesel is down 2 3/4 cents to 4.94 and again, that's about 5 cents from the lows, and I guess about 7 cents from the highs, but still right in the middle of those daily ranges. So corn, kind of settling in, I would say, right? Here's where you want to turn your head and hold your nose. SEP's down 47.25 cents in soybeans. 13.39 3/4 is last. We're about 3 cents off the lows. That's disconcerting. And we've had a decent range, right? I mean, look at that. We've got about 43-cent range. That's going to we're about 3 cents from 3 cents from the lows of a 43-cent range. That says it all, doesn't it? So let's talk about Nove beans. That's the new crop. 38.5 cents lower there. We lost the 13 handle. 12.95 is last, 4 cents from the lows there. Similar range. So soybeans just kind of on their heels, really, not really trading any strength. We're off significantly as well there too. Wheat getting a little bit of a bump by the conflict in Eastern Europe over the weekend. This is the Chicago wheat. It's up 21 3/4. Well, let's go 24.5 cents now. 6.57 is last when we talk about the wheat in Chicago. That's SEP. It's only about a penny off the highs. There you go. Diesel is up 21 3/4 cents to 6.82, and that too is a penny off of the highs. That's Chicago wheat. Hard red wheat, Kansas City. What do we have in store there? Well, double-digit gains, decent, 15.5 cents higher in that subcontract. 7.68 is last, about 2 cents off the highs. That'll give you an idea. Diesel is up 14 3/4 cents to 7.84, and that too is about a penny off the highs. If we move from Kansas City over to Minneapolis and take a look at the spring wheat's up, but not very much. 2 1/4 cents higher in that subcontract. 8.24.5 is last there. That's in the middle of the day's range. Diesel is up 2 3/4 cents to 8.40.5, and it's about 9 cents off the highs. And we're going to call it 12 cents off the lows. So there you go. Kind of right in the middle. All right, let's take a quick peek at cotton and what's that got for us here. It's really cotton's kind of got on its horse and seen some decent gains today. 130 points higher on the Diesel contract. 85.59 is last. Only about 17 cents off of the highs, or 17 points, I should say, off the highs. So a decent board when it comes to cotton. All right, let's bring in our next guest analyst. It's going to be Todd Bubba Horowitz. He comes to us from Las Vegas. Todd, thanks for sticking around, and happy Monday. Well, is corn done? I mean, what's going on here? I mean, you've seen, we try to surprise the market with problems in Eastern Europe, but it seems to be shaking it off, at least better than it did the last time. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, Scott, I think these are probably some of the most confusing markets we've seen in quite a while. There's a real challenge as to where we want to go and what we want to do. And, I think that they want to try to go higher, but there's still a lot of pressure up top trying to keep them lower here. And you've seen this big mix between wheat, corn, and beans. It's hard to say. I mean, we're in very dangerous levels. We are critically close to breaking to the downside in corn and beans, and those are not good. Those are not good problems to have. They could be very serious problems to have. And I think we'll see some turn, but as long as they keep buying equities, there doesn't seem to be much new money coming into the grain markets.
Yeah, I mean, we've got some inflation numbers towards the end of the week, as well as that crop report, the USDA report. Are you looking for anything out of any of those new numbers?
The numbers are always pretty much priced in as far as I'm concerned, and they're usually really, the reports are so inaccurate as a rule, just from what I've seen in my history, that it's hard to really get too excited about it.
Well, I mean, we have to see how this consumer is doing, because we'll talk about that in the next segment, but it's going to be interesting to see if we've got any inflation coming in. I mean, there was a little bit of a rumbling last week that maybe we saw some of those better positive days was some more new inflation money coming back into the market. I don't know if that's the case now, seeing what we've the damage that we're seeing in soybeans. But I mean, if you look at the markets and take a step back, it looks like corn's done. Beans got some good weather, and we had a little bit of a conflict in the wheat over the weekend. I mean, that's pretty much sums it up.
It could be. And again, remember, right now, whatever the numbers are reported, running a house right now is 20% higher than it was a year ago. Okay,
Yeah.
that is a number that is factual, and we continue to listen to what they tell us the inflation numbers are, but the numbers are 20% more to run your household this year than last year.
No, you're right. Well, wait till you hear what everybody's got to spend when it comes to the back to school. We're going to talk about that on the Cow Guy Close tonight. 1 Central, 2 Eastern, shameless plug. We got to go away. We're going to pay some bills. We're going to come back and talk more with Todd Horowitz about the livestock after this. All right, welcome back. Let's talk about the livestock. Those are our four-legged friends, some furry, some not. So let's take a look at those proteins, meats, and let's bring up that live cattle board in Chicago. Well, we've added to the losses just a little bit. October's off $1.10 to 181.80, 20 cents off the lows. So we're going to have to put a yellow sticky note next to that one and remind ourselves about that one's kind of on its heels. Deese is down 97 cents to 186.07. That's live cattle in Chicago. And that one's only about, what, 17 cents from the lows? So we got to keep an eye on it. Live cattle not trading very well right now. How about feeders? They're not trading that well either, but they're just kind of rolling over a tad. Let's go to September. That's down 75 cents to 252.70, 50 cents off of the lows. So again, that's not that great. Novi is down 60 cents to 255.50, and again, that's 50 cents off the lows there. So feeders not trading very well either. All right, let's take a look at lean hogs. They had some up arrows the last time, and they still do. Now we're adding to it. October's up $2.47. Not bad. 85.55 is last there. That's a nickel off the highs, folks. We like saying that. Deese is up $1.70 to 77 even, and that's 12 cents off the highs there. Let's get back to our guest analyst. It's going to be Todd Horowitz, Bubba Trading in Las Vegas. Todd, thanks for sticking around. All right, what are your thoughts here on the meats? I mean, cattle sucking a little wind, but hogs look good.
No, I think they're all kind of weak now, Scott. I think that, cattle, you and I have talked about this, pretty much repeatedly, that the high prices were going to cure the high prices. And certainly, feeder cattle with corn down the last couple of days has also been down, which is not a real strong sign. And I think hogs are probably making their last final push here, but I would suspect that we're going to start to see some lower prices as we get into the fall and as we get into the third and fourth quarter. They don't look real good, and typically this time of year they start to hit lower anyways. And if we look out in the curve, you can see that out in December we're at about 75 cents. So again, I'm not overly thrilled or excited about what's happening there right now, and certainly I think the prices were held up pretty much obviously by the shortage in the cattle markets.
Real quick, we got inflation numbers. We talked about it in the first half. And you said you thought everything's up 20% year over year. I mean, it's hard for me to dispute that. It feels like it absolutely does. But are you looking for maybe CPI to tick up a little bit yet, or not quite?
I think they're still playing with the numbers a little bit. Again, one of the things we never look at is the revisions. And, the CPI number will probably, with another hike in interest rates, which is trying to slow the economy,
right,
is probably going to take it down. But look, at the end of the day, those numbers are not accurate to what the average American really spends.
All you got to do is look in your wallet, and there's not a lot there. A few moths, but not a lot of money. All right, appreciate that. Thank you very much, Todd. Bubba Horowitz coming to us from Las Vegas. We'll bring it back here to Music Row, Music City. I can say good morning to Christina.